Well, here we are then, boys and girls. It's the Champions League final. I realise I'm not wearing a suit. I don't own a normal suit anymore. It was this or a tuxedo. I'm not wearing a tuxedo. Hello and welcome to Club 6, part 57 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have the Champions League final against Manchester United. We've just had our invincible season. We've just won 4 La Ligas in a row. We've just won our first Champions League semi-final. Fingers crossed we can set one more record here at Sevilla and wrap the entire series up today. I said at the start of the year I wanted to get this series finished by the end of May. We're cutting it fine. We're properly cutting it fine. But fingers crossed. That's not the only reason I want to win the Champions League. I obviously do think we deserve it as well. I'm killing for time a little bit at the start, just in case it's a 0-0 and we don't quite get to 10 minutes and I miss out on my mid-roll ads. Disastrous if that happens. But we have had all of the award things have come through. So I'm just going to show you these very quickly because I'll forget to do it in the season review because they happened before the last game and it'll break my mind. So our 0 losses this season is obviously a new team record. Zielinski has equalled Markovic's previous clean sheet record. I didn't realise Markovic held the clean sheet record from back 4 years ago when we didn't even win the league that year, I don't think. Markovic, who's now playing for Shakhtar and has made his debut for Germany as well. I don't think he did that when he was with us. So there you go. He's a German international keeper now. Zielinski must have been injured or something. I don't remember him getting injured. Yuri Rybak is the La Liga Player of the Year. Well deserved as well. Often seen as a bit of an unsung hero. Doesn't necessarily get the headlines because he's only a left back. Cool, you can see how much I've rotated this season. He's played just over half the games. Fair, he's played most of the Champions League games, so I've done a good job of keeping him fit. But averaging a 7.7 is a very, very good season. Kasongo picking up 3rd place for that. We've got Llorente finishing 2nd for top goal scorer. When this showed up the first time, it said Llorente. Oh no, there you go. There it says Llorente's top scorer. How? I don't understand. So Vandenberg named top goal scorer award winner. Llorente has won La Liga top goal scorer award, even though Vandenberg got 28 goals, Llorente only got 19. I don't understand. I think the game is breaking. This is what happens. I mean, we're close to 20 years in the future at this point. It does start to break after a while. I've won Manager of the Year, which I've won that before. And this is the Team of the Year, and I think this is brilliant because it's 10 of our players, and the only player who's not one of ours is the left back, where Rybak plays. Rybak, who won La Liga Player of the Year, he's the only player in our first team not in the Team of the Year, not even on the bench for the Team of the Year. Annan has made it onto the bench for the Team of the Year, for goodness sake. He's not been a first choice all year, but he's played more games than Rybak. That's the only thing I can think of. Rybak's not played enough games to qualify, but Zielinski in goal, Quito, Rigor, Serdic at the back, Hollis, Ramos, Atz and Kasongo in midfield, Llorente and Perez up front. We play a one-striker system. It's not bad having both of our strikers in the Team of the Year. It shows how well we've rotated those as well. Lots of bonuses paid out for Team of the Year, which means we are even poorer than we were before. I think that's the last awards before the Champions League final. And remember, not only are we trying to win this Champions League for us, we're trying to do it for Spain, because poor old Spain has only got 3 Champions League spots now. We need to win the tournament to get this back to 4. Barcelona not even in the Europa League. I mean, if we do manage to bottle this final, presumably that job's going to be available. But taking over a Barcelona team, not even in the Europa League, that could be an interesting next step. Let's go play the Champions League final. Here we go then, folks. It all comes down to this Champions League final, and we have our strongest team available to us. There was a little bit of a doubt around Kasongo. He picked up a knock in training earlier in the week, but is recovered, tight hamstring, but fit enough to play. And we've also got O'Neill returned from his injury, not really fully fit, but he can sit on the bench. And in fact, the bench has got all of the players in the universe on it. 12 substitutions, not substitutions. So we've got a full 23-man squad out there. And actually, looking at that bench, we've got a very strong 23-man squad. There's not many players in there you look at and think, wouldn't really trust him. I mean, even Molina, in another time, in another world, at age 21, this lad would be a regular for Sevilla. I mean, he's probably as good age 21 as Tony Moreno was, and Moreno had been a regular for 2 years at that point. So even Molina, probably the weakest link of the bench, but he ain't coming on because if we need a defensive midfielder, we've got Soto. But things are looking very strong. Let's go through the team. We've got Zielinski in goal. A back four of Ryback, Quito, Rigor and Serdic. Ramos and Ats in midfield. Hollis, Lorenzo and Kasongo behind Llorente in attack. Llorente or Perez? That was probably the toughest question. But they've both had such very good seasons. 7.26 versus 7.24. Llorente's got 25 goals in 34 starts. Perez has got 21 goals in 23 starts. I mean, that's a strong argument for Perez there, I guess. We'll go with Llorente initially because it's what we've done all season and it seems harsh to drop him now. But this is a Manchester United team, by the way, who have just won the Premier League for the first time the first time since 2019. So the first season of the save, Man United won the Premier League. Since then, they've been on a drought until just now, and they've just won the Premier League again. So a little bit worried because we struggled a little bit against Chelsea in that semi-final, and Chelsea, I think, were fourth in the Premier League. So Man United are a much better team than Chelsea. Obviously, we're the champions of Spain, they're the champions of England, but England is the best team in the world. Spain only has 3 Champions League spots. It's going to be challenging. These fans have been fantastic. They're the ones who really go, you know what, let's do it for the fans. We never do it for the fans, but for once, let's do it for the fans. We've travelled all the way to Turkey for this Champions League final. We're both lining up with a 4-2-3-1. We're both in good form. We're both very recently crowned champions of our domestic leagues. This is a proper... I mean, sometimes you look at the Champions League finals and they look a bit iffy and it's like, oh, you got the 4th best team in England in there, have you? Or whoever it might be. But this is the best team in England versus the best team in Spain to be crowned the best team in Europe. This is a proper Champions League final, and hopefully we don't bottle it. It's the first one we've ever played in. Ats intercepts in midfield, charges through, finds Kasongo. There's men over here. Hollis is one of them, and Hollis has scored. 22 minutes on the clock. A 16th goal of the season for Keith Hollis. Man United 0, Sevilla 1. It all came through Ats. Is the redemption story about to complete? Ats charges through the middle, knows he needs a man who can pick a pass, plays it to Kasongo, and Kasongo had 3 options to choose from, found Hollis, and Hollis has just scored in a Champions League final. What a year he's had. This time last year, he was playing for Southampton in the bottom half of the Premier League. Now he's scoring in the Champions League final as one of the World Players of the Year earlier in the season. He's going to the European Championships of England in the summer. He's a proper global superstar. And we're going in at half-time 1-0 up in the Champions League final. Just stay calm. Oh, my shoulder hurts. Just stay calm, Kev. Don't move your shoulder around funny. Have I mentioned I've hurt my shoulder? If you watch my vlogs, you'll know I've hurt my shoulder. It still really hurts when I sit funny. Right, let's just carry on doing it for the fans. Passionate fans. Trophy for them. Come on, lads. Just don't mess this up. Llorente's on a yellow card, as is Rigor. We need to keep an eye on both of those. We don't want to risk any players getting sent off, but especially key players like those two. I mean, everybody's a key player in this system. Man United have a corner, and they're trying to do a fancy one. They're being fancy. I don't care for it. Oh, what a time for the bin men to come. Apologies for all the noise. I was trying to play through it, but it just got so loud I couldn't hear myself. Bins, eh? Right, Hollis is charging down the left-hand side again. Llorente scored! Who cares about the bin men? Get them to come back. They can join in the party with me. It's Man United 0, Sevilla 2 in the Champions League final. Llorente has his 26th goal of the season. It's all come through Hollis, who has been superb today. And what a pass for Llorente. I heard you all questioning whether we should play him or Perez. That's why we played Llorente. A first-time finish, a stunning finish. And we're 2-0 up, and Serdic has picked up a knock, so we need to work out what to do about that. Hollis we're going to try and score a third goal before we get involved in substitutions. But United are now got a little bit of a break on, and it's 2 versus 2, and they've scored, and it's not all over yet, boys and girls. And now we do need to have a little look at what's going on with Serdic. Right, do we have a right back on the bench? Not really. Annan could play out there. I'm inclined to leave him on. He's not even got an injury thing next to him. So I think we're going to leave him on for now. And let's have a look at this replay. It's just a counter-attack. Ryback was miles far forward. I think that's Ryback here. So that drew Rigor across, which has left Quito in the middle on his own. And, I mean, it's what happens when our fullbacks push on as far as they do. It's going to happen from time to time. Hopefully, that's the only time it happens today. Right, let's have a look. Substitutions o'clock. Lorenzo isn't playing well at all. I've got the choice between bringing Benko on and keeping the system unchanged, or bringing Perez on and going to the 4-2-4. I think if we were chasing the game, we'd bring Perez on as it is. Benko can come on. We'll keep the system as it is. I don't think there's anyone else who necessarily needs switching around. I'm concerned about Serdic, but Annan is definitely trading down if we bring him on. Likewise, Atz isn't having the best of games. He's got missing in a final again. Who knew? But O'Neill's not fully fit, and I'm conscious of the fact, yes, there's only 20 minutes left, but if United score again, we've got extra time ahead of us yet. So I don't want to go too hard too soon with the substitutions and then have to substitute a substitute in the case of O'Neill. Right, we are picking up a lot of yellow cards. Ryback is now tiring as well. We have got Bruce on the bench. Ryback is tiring on a yellow card, not having the best of games. We're going to bring Bruce on for him. Of course, we've got Bamber who could come on and play right back. We're going to give it 5 minutes, and then we'll perhaps make the change and take Serdic off. Hopefully, grab another goal before then. Atz plays it into Llorente, to Hollis. Llorente again. Everyone's on yellow cards now. Bruce in a crossing position, does get the crossing. Llorente's there, but it goes just over. And we've had a decent number of chances today. But it's not been like playing a Liga game. We've not had 20-odd chances. Right, we are going to take Serdic off and bring Annan on. We're going for experience rather than necessarily ability by bringing Annan on. He's played a lot of games, a lot of football in his life. Let's get him on the pitch for a Champions League final. Hollis, I thought it would have been the Hollis final if he'd have scored there. I mean, it kind of probably already is. He's got a goal and an assist, and we're down into the last 15 seconds. We've got to be crossing everything at this point. If they score here, it's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. Take the ball off of them. Oh, Bruce tries to, and we've won it. We've won the Champions League. Oh, look at me. I'm so happy. Just clapping my hands. Just a little gentle clap. That isn't what's going on inside me now. We've won the Champions League. Wow. Passionate. Congratulations. I am happy. Oh, my word. Let's have a look through the inbox. Victorious Sevilla celebrate famous treble. Are you really counting the Supercopa de España as one of the treble? We've lifted the Champions League. The Man United manager doesn't like my unprofessional tactics. What unprofessional tactics? Don't know what he's talking about. We've given Gould 300 grand. I don't know why he didn't even play. 17 million quid come into the kitty. Zielinski's happy to stay because we've now won the Champions League. Oh, my word. We've won the Champions League. Hollis shined. Hollis was superb in that match. 11 million from there. 10 million from there. We have to give out 13.5, all of which means we're still £200 million in the red. The projection is not as bad as it could be. We're not actually going to be losing a huge amount of money season on season, but the job is done, boys and girls. We've achieved what we set out to achieve. Let's have a look at my manager profile. Here we have Kevin Chapman. That's how my profile is finishing off in this save. My history, 6 clubs managed. Longest time at a club, 2,346 days, which is here at Sevilla. Shortest time, 357. I've won 30 awards, earned myself £31.5 million. Imagine how many chairs I could buy with that. We've time spent on holiday. Oh, that's while I was job hunting, I guess. I think that must be while I was job hunting. Players bought 177 for 1.29 billion. See, I've only spent £500 million net transfer spend. That's not too bad, I don't think. We've paid £120 million to agents. Quito's the record signing, Moreno record sale. We made it up to third on the... We'll have a look at the rankings in a second. I've made it up to third on the English manager rankings, 7 on the managers in Spain rankings. We've finished with a win percentage over my career at 57%, at Sevilla 71%. And we have won 4 cups, 4 leagues, 2 promotions, and 888 games played. How can that be right? I thought we'd played... Oh no, it was with home we'd played 700. I thought we'd played 700 at Sevilla. That just didn't seem right. That's quite the career. Hold on, let's have a look at the Hall of Fame. How do we do that? Where's the Hall of Fame? It's on here somewhere. There we go. Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame. I mean, if the save breaks now, I can handle it because we're done. So Hall of Fame. We didn't make it into the World Hall of Fame. We're nowhere near the World Hall of Fame. Continent Hall of Fame. Nope. Nation. So nation for Spain, I finished 7th. I think if we'd have spent another 2 years at Sevilla, I'd have made it top 3. I'm not getting caught up with these two, though. And nationality. Let's have a look. Is it going to load? I've never known it be so clunky. Nationality, we have gone past Unky Herb. We've gone past Tom Watson. Who on earth is Tom Watson? Okay, that's why I've never heard of him. Don Revie, Bill Nicholson, Bobby Robson. We are third behind only Brian Clough and Bob Paisley. And again, there's no catching them unless you play well past your first Champions League win. They both have multiple Champions League wins, don't they? Yeah, 2 for Clough, 3 for Paisley. If you have to end when you win your first one, you don't end up top of the Hall of Fame. But I think we'll all agree that has been a pretty spectacular non-league to legend this year. We will be back on Friday, where, all being well, if I've managed to get it holidayed before I go on holiday, all being well, on Friday we'll have a look 5 years in the future so we can see how everybody got on at that point. We will check in with some of the previous players from the series as well, see what they're up to, the likes of Liam Thorne and the likes of David Noble. We'll check in on everybody on the 5 years in the future episode, and of course also see what happened next at Sevilla. Did they clear the debts? Did they have to sell? Did they carry on winning stuff? Is this only the beginning for Sevilla, or is this as good as it ever got and it's now tumbling back down after I leave the club? But as ever, after winning the Champions League at the end of Non-League to Legend, there's only one way to end the episode, and that is to resign as manager of Sevilla and retire from football with immediate effect. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.